Okay. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Good, good.
Congratulations on all your team's awards. Um, what's the pitching plan for this week, and what's the balance you try to strike between uh, keeping guys sharp but also making them as fresh as possible for the regional?
Yeah, so obviously our starter tomorrow is Lockhart, and we don't have a starter for game 2 yet. We'll make that decision after the game, see who we're playing. Obviously, like I said the other day, that we would like to get all of our weekend guys, starter type guys on the mound one way or another, whether it's a start or they have to come out of the pen. Just depends on where we're at, wins and losses. And, not overuse anybody, but at the same time, try to win some games.
Is Lockhart on a strict pitch count, or is that more by feel or what you see? Or
I think he would be more on a normal pitch count. He hasn't pitched in a while, and then he won't pitch for at least, another 10 days. So I think we'll just see how the game's going. If he's still going good after 5 innings and he's under 100 pitches, he might get another inning. But, we haven't thrown him probably over 100 pitches all year.
and then what's the latest on Peyton Pallette and his injury situation?
Not 100% sure exactly, but he won't pitch during this tournament.
Do you think there's a chance he could pitch in a regional, or just don't know?
I'd say probably not.
So you think he's done for the year?
That's probably what that means.
Could you be more specific on the injury?
I don't know if I can because it's a medical thing. So I've just given you everything I'm going to give you.
Okay, I might have a couple more, but I'll turn it back. Thanks.
Yeah.
Tom?
Hey, Dave, what's the feeling of the team? What they look like in practice going into this tournament?
Yeah, today was spirited. They seemed to be excited to get out there. We were over at Samford University. We had a little workout yesterday before we got on the plane. It wasn't great. Today was real good. Yesterday looked like a practice we had before we got on a plane. And today was, hey, they're a little more hooked up and ready to roll and excited to be here and play some baseball. So it was good.
When you get further into the postseason, could this be a year that you might try to match up the left-handed, right-handed pitchers that you have versus certain lineups? Or do you think you'll kind of go Wicklander first on every series that you come to?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go, we definitely want to get Wicklander on the mound. Probably see how it goes, see who wins tonight. And then obviously we play tomorrow. We'll know who we're playing, and we're going to throw Lockhart. But after that, we definitely want to get Wicklander out there, whether he's coming out of the pen or starting. Hopefully we can win some games. We can start matching up. But I think that, we'll look at some numbers. And like you said, if one team's better at hitting lefties than they are righties, we could make a change there. But as far as in game, we might use guys maybe a little more than normal, just trying to get them in the game, matching up, guys that are out of the pen.
And my last one, what's it mean to you to win Coach of the Year?
Well, it's I've always said this. I feel like it's a team award and a coaching staff award. And I already told the guys I appreciate everything we do for us, to make me look a little better. But, I have really good assistant coaches, and they take care of their position guys. And they've done a tremendous job this year. And then obviously the players have won a lot of games. And but it means a lot, and I really appreciate it.
Hodge?
Dave, with Pallette, did he get hurt in the game the other day, or had he been experiencing maybe some pain or soreness before that?
He was perfectly fine, and it was one pitch.
And
so
how
that's usually not a good sign.
Yeah. And how confident are you that you have enough arms and that somebody will step up and kind of fill his role?
Well, we've already had Bolden's already stepped up. He's kind of moved in there, and Lockhart pitched pretty good last time. We started him against a midweek team, and then started him against Tennessee. I thought he threw the ball decent. So we've got more over there. It's about matchups a lot of times, and I feel like that we have enough pitching.
And then you've kind of talked about this before, but how do you balance the desire to maybe use Cops, in every close situation while also, not overusing him or anything like that? What's that balance like?
Well, he'll be ready to go if we need him probably the next day or two. And one time, I don't know if you'd see him throwing back to back. You might see him one game if we need him for 3 innings and he doesn't pitch for a day, or maybe if he does, it's going to be 1 inning, something along that line. I mean, these games are important, but we'll just have to see what the stress load is, how stressful the innings he's pitched, were they easy, what's the temperature. I mean, we're going to take care of him, but he needs to work. He wants to work. Nate?
I guess what is Webb's status, and if he's not going, if left field, what do you do out there with Gregory and maybe Bates?
Well, his status is he's with us and he's practicing with us, and we've handled it. Obviously, we put out a statement. It's very unfortunate. We're not happy with it. He probably feels as bad as anybody I've ever seen when they've gotten in trouble. And I mean, it was sincere, and I just hope he learns from this. I know he will. I know he has. So I don't see myself starting him tomorrow, and probably originally would have. But he's part of the team, and we're moving forward. And, just glad that nobody got hurt. And too much celebrating conference championship, and just disappointed with what went on there. But at the same time, he's young, they make mistakes, and I'm glad nobody got hurt.
And as far as this, do you use this at all to get it working any young players in this tournament, or do you just go out every game just basically trying to win it all?
Well, we'll stick with the same lineup for the most part, but I might plug a guy in there every now and then. I mean, really don't have but a couple extra position players. Am I going to catch up with every game? Depends on how he feels, the temperature. I mean, he could have signed a professional contract. He came back. He wants to play here. I feel good about Leach, but we'll just see how that goes. I mean, we're going to try to win every game, but just don't want to run anybody in the ground either.
Thank you.
Seth?
Yeah, Dave, you played in the new format, or I guess it's not really new anymore since they added all the teams to the SEC tournament, but what makes it so hard to win?
What makes it hard to win? Probably the teams that are here, they're all really good. And some teams, this tournament means more to them as far as just trying to get in the SEC tournament. Sometimes those teams might play a little bit tight. Sometimes they play a little bit harder. It doesn't always mean because you play harder or you got to do something, you're going to win. The key to winning this tournament is to pitch well, drive in runs with 2 outs, and getting that winner's bracket would be nice because you get a day off. But it's just a great tournament. Usually in this tournament, there's going to be 12 start out. It goes to 8 pretty quick after one day. And then you're going to have to beat teams that are pretty much ranked in the top 20, some of the best teams in the country. And it's there's no let up, no room for error, really.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep. Andrew Ellis.
Hey, Coach, coming into the season, I'm not sure how many people outside of the program really knew what to expect from Brady Slavins, whether he would play every day or stuff like that. At what point did you realize that he was going to be a middle of the order bat and would not lead the lineup?
Well, that's what we recruited him to do. I mentioned it early in the season that we needed someone to not fill the shoes, but kind of bring to the same type of hitter to our lineup as Heston Kjerstad. We were looking for a left-handed hitter with some pop, and Brady was the guy we wanted. We got him. We knew he was going to play in the, during fall baseball, that he was going to be fine. And we just didn't know if he was going to play first, third, or outfield, or DH, or whatever. So we moved him around a lot. We finally settled in on first base, and it worked out.
And, with the third base position, Cullen Smith is up to 289 for the year and hit almost 300 in SEC play. You've also had Nesbitt come in and make some good defensive plays in tight spots. How much better do you feel about that spot than you did, say, a month ago?
Well, if you're just talking about offense, Cullen swung the bat pretty well. And, Nesbitt's the more experienced defender. So it's, it's just, we just pick and choose our times to, platoon them a little bit or rest one of them, or just, Cullen offensively has done better, obviously. So, he's won the job, but I feel like Jacob is a great teammate. He's a really good defender, and he's gotten some big hits for us over the last couple of years. And when he's got in, he's played well. Like you said, he's made some really good defensive plays. So Cullen's our third baseman right now. Randy?
Dave, you may have already answered this. I apologize. I got in late today. Have you thought about how you want to handle your pitchers? Is there going to be a strict pitch count, innings? Have you kind of thought that through yet?
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit, and we've thought about it a little bit, obviously. Lockhart start tomorrow, and we'll let him go as long as he can until he gets to, when he gets tired or gets to a certain pitch count, which would be up there. He hasn't gone that far this year so far, but he's ready for it if he can do it. And then after that, what we'll do is we'll just, figure out who we're playing before we decide who we're going to start. That's kind of where we're at. And, we're not going to try to over pitch anybody, obviously, or stress anybody out. We need to be healthy next week.
You talked about last time about the heat there in Hoover. How have you been able to adjust, and what have you done in particular to prepare for it?
Yeah, we tried to practice in the middle of the day yesterday for a little bit, and then today we practiced right around noon and just got back a little while ago, and it's probably 90, close to 90, low 90s, very humid, but that's all you can do is just try to get used to the weather. We told them to hydrate. We've been trying to hydrate them and get them through. Tomorrow we play at 4:30, which is really probably the hottest time of the day. It'll cool down a little bit as we play, but just do the best we can there to monitor it. And if somebody's not feeling right, we'll get them out. Usually your issues will be with your pitchers or your catchers for the most part, but you never know. Coming back around, Hutch.
I'm good.
Bob.
Yeah, Dave, wanted to ask you specifically about each team, that you're going to play one or the other. Just, what's your thoughts on LSU?
Very athletic. They've got a very good offense. They got some speed. They've got a couple left-handed hitters, but more right. They like to run, create some things. I think, if you look at the two teams, you never know how it's going to go tonight. If I get a chance to get out there, after I get done doing all these interviews, I'm going to go watch a game. Kind of kidding, but I will be out there. They may be a little hotter than, I guess, than Georgia, but I would imagine they're throwing their top pitcher tonight, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked at it. I know that we're going to be out there to watch him. Georgia is a big physical team that's got a couple good arms in the bullpen. I'm not sure who they're starting either. We'll be able to figure out who they're pitching the next day by who they're starting, obviously. But I think it's going to be a really good ball game. I just feel like that LSU is probably playing a little bit better right now, and Georgia's going to have to pick it up a little bit if they're going to win.
Whichever team you play, I'm guessing the winner of that game is going to be in the NCAA tournament, but I'm sure they don't want to leave it to chance. But the team you're playing is probably going to have more to play for than you guys do. Not that you guys won't play hard and don't play to win and all that. I get that. But playing a team that's maybe desperate to win, what do you think about that?
Well, we've talked to our team about that already. It's a situation where there's so many different scenarios here. We have our own scenario and we're in good shape. We've been on the other end when we felt like we got to win a game or two to solidify something, and LSU probably feels that way. I'm sure Georgia feels that way. They don't want to leave it up to the committee. They want to go win some games. So the committee will say, hey, they're playing good. They've got 14, 15 SEC wins now. And, we know we're going to get somebody's best effort. You never know if it's going to be their best game, but they're going to give us great effort. And I just want to make sure that we give a great effort as well, and I think we will.
Yes, I had one last one. I know Rob Childress is one of your guys from way back, and he had a great record at A&M, and I didn't even realize he was in the last year of his contract. So I guess there was a lot of pressure there. But he goes to 2 World Series and wins several regionals, and what do you think about what happened to him there? I guess what does that speak to about the pressure you guys are under in this conference, and just talk to him, and
Talk to him every day. So, the first year he was there, he didn't go to a regional, weren't his players. Then he went 13 years in a row. And last year was COVID. He lost a first rounder, like second or third, fourth pick. The Royals got him. And he lost another pitcher high in the draft that would have been great last year for their team. And they wouldn't renew his contract. He wouldn't ask him to renew his contract or give him another year, so he'd help him in recruiting, and they wouldn't do it. Pretty much telling you what happened there. It's just it's a sad deal because he's a winner, and been to 6 Super Regionals, been to College World Series twice, and players love him. So what's that tell you about what we deal with sometimes? I don't feel like we deal with it all the time, not at every university, but at that particular one, and you know which one I'm talking about. I really don't want to mention their name. Really disappointing. Rob is probably one of the best human beings walking the earth. He's probably one of my best friends. I hate it for him and his family. I don't like people to be treated like that. And he'll land on his feet. He's strong, and he's gonna be fine. But it's very disappointing for me being in this business, seeing that happen to such a good coach and such a good person. I get it when things aren't going right, and you have a few bad years in a row, but that's not the case there.